My name is Marsa Habibah. My student ID is 21029091. I am from Class C Mathematical Education UNP. Describing data is divided into two. 1. Static data. 2. Movement data. Static data. Static data shows one time scale only. For example, a static data chart might show the population of 5 different cities in 2002. Movement data. A movement data chart would show the 5 cities in 2002 and 2012, and you need to compare the change in the situation from one time scale to the other. Next, step describing data. Step 1. Analyze the task and data. Step 1, Part A. Is this static data or movement data? What are the times called? The difference is that static data shows one time scale only, while movement data shows a number of different time scales. From example, a static data chart might show the population of 5 different cities in 2002, and you need to compare the numbers. A movement data chart would show the 5 cities in 2002 and 2012, and you need to compare the change in the situation from one time scale to the other. Step 1, Part B. What do the two axes show? This means deciding which groups of the data are similar to each other. For example, look at example chart 3 again and ask yourself which countries have a similar pattern in their use of electricity. Are any of the countries very different? The answer is that we can group France and Japan together because their pattern is similar. Their electricity features fluctuate during the whole week. We can also group Canada and Russia together because they have a similar pattern. Their electricity features rise considerably towards the weekend. Argentina is different from these two groups because it declines towards the weekend. Next, step 2, Part B. Identify trends and exceptions. A trend means a pattern which is common or shared by a group. An exception is a group or an element which behaves differently from the trends. Look at example. This is a movement chart. It shows 9 different time scales along the top axis. The units shown are number of passengers and dollars per ticket. We can group the figures into two groups, passengers and ticket price, and we see that the higher the passenger number, the higher is the cost of the ticket. This is true from 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. and again from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. However, the situation for the two groups and 6 p.m. is different. Here, a high number of passengers pay a very low ticket price. This is a simple example of deciding on the groups in the data. We can now decide on the trend and the exception. The trend is for high passenger numbers to match high ticket price. The exception is the 6 p.m. when the reverse is true. Step 2, Part C. Select the main features using features. Remember that the task 1 instruction always says summarize the information, select and describe the main features, and make comparisons where relevant. Main features in data task means the key features which demonstrate the groups, trends, and exceptions which you have identified. It is impossible and totally unnecessary to select more than a few features to use in your task 1 essay. For example, our example chart 3, electricity in hospitals, contains 35 features. Example chart 4 has 18 features. In task, you may have up to 3 such charts to describe. Okay, next step 3, writing the essay. Step 3, Part A, write the introduction sentence. For introduction, the examiner wants to see a clear, single sentence that shows you have analyzed and understood the data, times, costs, and units involved. For example, if the task instruction includes the information, the first graph below shows the weight in tons of fruit produced by a farm during each month in 2013, and also the amount in tons of fertilizer used. The second graph shows the volume of rainfall in each month in millimeters. You can paraphrase this as the charts give data regarding the ton of fruit produced in a farm per month in 2013, the fertilizer used, and the monthly rainfall in that year. The table shows data about the average length of time in minutes that people of different ages spend in a consultation with family doctor in a number of countries. He has also varied the structure of the sentence, condensing the first example into one sentence and making the sentence slightly shorter. Next, step 3, Part B, write the main body paragraphs. Explain the group trends, give select features, compare groups, and explain exceptions. And the last, step 3 by C, writing the summary sentence and checking your word. An example based on the example chart 4 is in summary ticket price increased broadly in line with passenger traffic, except during the evening rush hour when they actually fall. This summary is simple but it succeeds because it sums up the key groups, the trend, and the exception in the data. Notice that the summary does not include any figures. Neither your introduction nor your summary should include figures. Alright, that's the describing data from me. Thank you for your attention. See you.